Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am here to review Batman Arkham Origins. I actually beat the game a week ago. Now, how do I feel about the game as a whole right off the bat? In terms of placing this game next to the other Arkham games, I'm going to say I like it better than Arkham Asylum, but it's not as good as Arkham City. It's not that good. But I do think it is a better game overall than Arkham Asylum. So, first, let's start off with the voice work. Now, that was like the biggest concern for everybody, the voice work, mainly because Kevin Connery wasn't coming back as Batman Bruce Wayne, and Mark Hamill has gone on record in saying that he's not going to come back as a Joker unless they do like an animated film of the Killing Joke, and he's pretty much done with voicing the Joker. So that was the biggest concern for everybody. Now, Troy Baker, who plays the Joker, does a good job. I think he did a fantastic job. He sounds really almost exactly like Mark Hamill's take on the Joker, and I like it a lot. Uh, Roger Craig Smith as Batman Bruce, I like his voice a lot. I like his voice as much as I like Kevin Connery or like Bruce Greenwood, which I think are like the best voice actors we've had for Batman thus far. Uh, and he does a good job with the bringing the emotion to the character of Batman slash Bruce Wayne. Now, everyone else who does the voice acting in here, I don't know, I didn't look up everybody else who voiced the other assassins and whatnot, but they did a good job as well. I think Steve Blum did a voice in here. I think it was, I don't know who he did, but I know he did a voice in here. And I think for the most part, the voice work, excuse me, is top notch. So there's that. Now the gameplay. Now, as everybody has probably already talked about, the gameplay in here is very much the same as the previous Arkham games, but there's some added stuff to it. There's some new moves, some new combos you can pull off. But this game is very, very glitchy in a lot of places, and I know they say they're gonna fix that, but very, very glitchy in some places. I have the PS3 version, so I don't know how it is on the other consoles, but on mine, it was very glitchy, and I'm not the only one that had that problem. There are other people I talked to who played the game, some friends of mine and whatnot, and they say, yeah, it's pretty glitchy. But beyond that, the gameplay is pretty solid. It's not off-putting. They didn't change it. They didn't make any drastic changes to it where it doesn't even feel like it's in this universe. It's pretty solid, and it's very fun to play. Another thing I do like is the boss battles in here. The boss battles in here are much better done. Well, I think they're on par with Arkham City's boss battles, but it's not as easy to defeat the enemies uh, and whatnot. So I do really like that. I like the added stuff that they added on here, the combos, and you know I like the fact that this is Gotham City and it's not just obviously it's origins, but we get to see more of Gotham and less of Arkham Asylum. So I like that a lot. I think the snow and stuff, just the overall look of the game is beautiful. So I'm gonna get into that, like the art. I love the costumes in here, especially for Batman. This Batman costume is very, very great. This is my favorite Batman look next to the New 52 look. It's just if if they weren't making a Batman Superman movie, they were gonna do like a new rebooted Batman like in his own movie. I would say this would be the perfect costume for that. Like I love the way it looks, just very, very much pretty close to what I like in superhero costumes. So everything just looks great. The assassins, the character designs for them. I love the way Black Mask looks in here. Roman looks awesome with the white suit and the black mask. Is great. It very much that mafioso look that really brings out Black Mask's character in terms of visual. Everyone else in here looks great. Deathstroke looks cool. His costume design, I like this a lot. I think this is his best look besides the Injustice Gods Among Us look, which I also loved. Uh, Everyone else in here just looks great. Like I said, it's a pretty spectacular looking game. Now, as far as the story goes, I think the story is pretty. It's a pretty simple story, and it flows very nicely. But there is one thing in here that happens that really pissed me off, and a lot of other people as well. This game was hyped around the idea that we're going to focus on different villains and not the Joker. And that doesn't happen. This game was really hyped around they were really advertising Deathstroke. Uh, they were advertising Bane a lot, and they were advertising uh, Black Mask. Black Mask was, I thought Roman was going to be the center of this whole thing. This is his, gig. He's the one who hires these assassins to take out Batman. So I was cool with that until I actually played the game and found out what they did with Roman, and it was bullshit. Uh, Totally fucked over his character once again. Basically, spoiler, if you haven't played the game, it turns out that Joker was the one who was actually Black Mask, and he's the one who set this whole thing up. Once again, the game focused on the Joker, and I don't like that. Uh, Roman really hasn't had a good portrayal. I didn't even like his take in Batman Under the Red Hood. And he's been great in the comics, but like in other media, the Batman, they didn't do him right. They kind of fucked him over, and like I said, Under the Red Hood, he was more like Tony Montana than actually Roman Sionis. And now here, basically Joker kills Roman's wife, and he takes up the Black Mask mantle, and then it's revealed that he Joker was behind everything. It's just, why did we have to focus on the Joker again? Look, I enjoy the Joker, but he is completely, in my opinion, overrated as a Batman villain. I get the idea that he's supposed to be Batman's greatest enemy, which I don't think he is, but he's a good villain. I'll give you that, great villain. But I don't think he's Batman's greatest enemy, and I think Batman has much better villains in his rogues gallery that can match him in other ways. And really dropped the ball on that. You could have done some really cool stuff with Roman in here, and big missed just a fucking huge missed opportunity with this character. So I was really disappointed with that. But the other villains were done justice in this game, especially Bane. Bane in here was perfect. I think he was definitely redeemed from the other two games, because in the other two games, Bane was just a big brute who just punched and destroyed stuff, like rawr, and all that. But here, Bane is like the closest to the Bane from the comics. Like, he's smart. He doesn't rely too much on the Venom, and he's just really kick ass. I love the cinematic scene where he comes in, he takes Batman down from the elevator and he starts beating the shit out of him. And it was just like, yes, finally they did my boy right. And his boss battle was great. And I also like his reasoning for working for the Joker. He's working for the Joker to get at Batman. It's not like he's loyal to the Joker. He's like, once I'm done with Batman, I'm gonna kill you, Joker. And I like that a lot. That's definitely Bane. Slade was done pretty well done in this game. I think they did a good job with him. The other assassins, Lady Shiva was pretty impressive in here. Firefly, I liked a lot. All the other villains in here were done pretty much like you would expect them to be done. They were. I really like Killer Croc's design in here too. Like, I like him in the other games, but in here I really like his look. Like, he's not completely all the way turned. It's like the monstrous. Well, he is, but he's like kind of got some form of like humanity left in him. He's not completely far gone to the animalistic side yet, and I like that a lot. So yeah, I think overall the villains in here were just represented pretty well. Besides Roman, who was completely fucked over. So yeah, it's a good game. I'm not gonna say it's groundbreaking or anything like that because it's not. It's a good installment to the franchise. I think it's also a good origin. I liked how I like what they did with him and Alfred. Alfred and Bruce's relationship was great in here. I like Barbara's role in here and Jim Gordon. All the other supporting characters were represented really well in here, and I think it's a good installment. It's you know, and like I said, the story is really good. It's not Paul Dini, but it's really really good. If this was a comic, I think it would be something I would go back and read over again. As like just a general Batman story. So that is my review. I'm gonna give it a I give it a 8 out of 10 blood drops. Solid game, besides the glitchy gameplay and what they did with Roman. Other than that, pretty good. Definitely recommend this game. And I am out. Peace.